Hello, hello. So, can everybody hear me? Hello?
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. Let me just put on some background music so it's a bit more punchy here. Let me just. There we go. Welcome, folks, to the Blockchain Game Alliance. My name is Fordex, and today I'll be your host for this week's demo day. So, for those people who's been watching the Blockchain Game Alliance, we're in it for our newest, in blockchain gaming, not just in blockchain gaming in general. And today, we've got some new projects for you here today, folks. We've got Tingz, we've got Community, FortBlockGames, and of course, we have Cliff. But we're super excited. We get a lot of stuff coming in today. And of course, just welcome to the Blockchain Game Alliance. First up on our list, we have Julia Muzinski. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, so I do apologize if I butchered up the name, but welcome. And of course, with the other folks here, how are you feeling today, folks? Welcome to the demo day. How are you feeling today?
Very good. Thank you for having us.
Yes, awesome. So we got some new projects, but first on our list, we have Julia. Julia, can you tell me or tell us a bit more about what Tingz is? Just in general, what the project is overall for those people watching right now. Right now, we're at 20 viewers, so we're still waiting for people to come in. So if you're new to the stream, tune in. We've got some amazing stuff for you. But that's enough being said. Julia, you're ready to take the floor. Tell us a bit more about yourself, what Tingz is, and what the project is all about. The floor is yours.
Thank you a lot. So hi, everybody. I'm Julia. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tingz. So before starting Tingz, I spent a decade working at companies like Adidas and Google, managing over 100 million in advertising portfolios. And what I saw firsthand, how hard it is to capture people's attention. And that's the problem we are solving with Tingz. So we are giving a new channel of interaction with Tingz by enabling anyone to create games with prompts. So it can be a brand, it can be, if you're a creator, you can create games with Tingz for your community, and and really engage and capture their attention, going away from the traditional marketing channels. We started building since February, so we are currently in a closed beta. And what we are seeing is just a fantastic reaction of people. Everybody's super stoked because basically the type of games we are providing, we can provide them at, we always say, cultural speed. That means we can immediately react to trends happening on Twitter, in politics, and do funny games for that. Of course, we will never replace really good, deep, AAA games with a storyline. So what we are doing are more small, casual games which like have a length between like 30 seconds to 3 minutes. That's the segment we are in. And what we're doing with Tingz is that we are really building the AI gaming infrastructure for that. If you want to, I can give you a little sneak peek into the demo so you can have a look at what I'm talking about. And it's enough of this theory, and I will just show you exactly what we were building the last couple of months. So can you guys see my demo?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So our platform, so this is our beta platform, really easy to use. So you log in, and as you can see, it looks like ChatGPT, really easy to use. And the first thing we are doing, we are guiding you as a creator, as a gamer, as a user through the whole experience by picking like the game scenario. You know, like creating games, it's such a new thing. Nobody has done it before. So we give you a few options. These are a few like game scenarios we have. We are adding new ones every week. We just picked them because they're so popular. So we have match 3 Endless Runner. And for the demo, we pick Endless Runner. And the next step in the whole process is to pick how the game looks like. So you can pick like a fantasy theme, nature, or a custom theme. So for the demo, we pick a custom theme where we want to have star fields with planets and moons, which we prompt into the interface. And then our AI agents are building a 2D image of the galaxy, as you can see. And then we all know how important 3D assets are in gaming. So what we are doing next, we are really going deep into 3D asset generation. So you can see how fantastic they look. This is an asteroid. The next thing we want is like a satellite. And we are going and being more and more creative. So we want a crystal. And the next thing we want is like a robot. So you can see all that. This is like really, really sped up. Normally this takes a couple of hours, especially in our beta. Our goal is to get it down to 30 minutes. We are not there yet, but hopefully in the future. This is the robot I was telling you about. And then we have basically our whole AI agents. We have an MCP talking to Unity, and everything that we created, you can see now in the game that we are creating. So that's the game. A little endless runner with all of the 3D objects, the galaxy in the background. So, you know, you can have some fun and play it. So I hope you like that. I can show you another version what we did. So if you create like a brand who wants a little bit more of a higher quality, this is one of our clients. They're called Mint. They're also in the Web3 space, and they wanted a game around the launch of the community, which is all around, you know, the current crypto narrative. So they wanted a polar bear, which is going through an icy world, which is full of rock polars and so on. And so I will show you the game. So here you can see Cancel the Bear. We have a little bit of a rocket, so it can fly. We have the rock colors on the side. Okay, I died here. That was quick. Yeah, so you can always like customize it a little bit as a B2B service, just to add a little bit more texture to the game, a little bit more personalization, and then at the end of the game you can link it like, you know, to like a competition or like a raffle or something. So basically everything that we're doing is pretty new. Not everybody likes it, so it's kind of polarizing as well, of course, AI gaming. But yeah, we are happy with our progress. If you want to try it out, actually we have our website, which is playtingz.com. And basically we can there sign up to the beta. So currently it's closed for our partners, but we are opening it soon for the open beta to the public so everybody can try it.
Hey, that's actually amazing when you look at it, you know, from a game developer perspective. You don't have to spend like many thousands of dollars just to get your games right, you know, just to get the idea of. Yeah, listen, I'm curious. Do you have any other games that you have? Because we're genuinely curious on how things works. Because I think this is one of the first times that I've seen. I mean, there are a couple of LLMs that can claim that they can create a game, but I've never seen like an AI that actually communicates with Unity and, you know, just pushes out like a complete and playable game within just a couple of hours. So do you have any more case studies or demos that we can watch? Because Things is actually such a great platform, in my opinion, at least.
Yes, I didn't prep them now, but I'm happy to share them as a follow-up on our social media channels. So currently, yeah, we have a few more outputs we could share for sure.
Awesome. No worries. But yeah, I mean that's super cool. For those people who wants to check out play things, I think this is a great. And just another question: is the software free for those people who wants to try it out, or do you charge, let's say, whenever you want to use the software for things?
Yeah, so we're using the same model like all of the Gen AIs are using. You can start with a freemium account, and then as soon as you need a little bit more power, more features, you can top it up into like a more premium account. So yeah, you can try it out with a free version.
That's amazing. All right, folks, for you guys watching out there, I put in the link to www.playthings.com. You can also follow them on their social media in order for you to get a free access. Just click on get early access, put in your company email, then they'll get back with you once they have it. But I think this is a really, really great piece of software for those people who just wants to start, in game development. You don't need like a full-fledged team to actually implement this. All you need is a creative imagination, and if you've got the guts, you've got the ideas, I'm pretty sure you can make it out. So pretty cool stuff.
Cool.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Julia,
you.
for sharing your expertise and of course sharing things as well. I think that's super cool, super exciting. I mean, I myself am going to request for the Blockchain Game Alliance. We are going to try out things, things as well on our side. So we're super cool. We're super excited. So thank you so much for showing us, things, and we're super excited as well. All right, next up we have Co-Unity, but I don't think they're here. There we go. I just saw it. So hey Dan, welcome to our demo day. Apologies for that. I didn't saw your profile, your headshot there for a sec. So welcome to the demo day. You're up next. So we have now next, folks. After just things, the those super AI that can generate games within just hours. I know it just sped up. And next up we have Co-Unity and we have Don Rudman. So welcome. Can you tell us a bit more about yourself, what you do, and what Co-Unity is?
Yeah, for sure. Just checking. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can. Absolutely,
Okay, cool.
100%.
I ended up just abandoning the headphones. I had a lot of issues trying to figure out the connection on it with a new laptop here. But yeah, no, really excited to be here. Thanks for having me. And I feel like I'm a little bit of a wild card today. I've got a little bit of a few slides to show who Co-Unity is and what we do. But we're a service provider, so we play the game of retention, of loyalty, of community. And I'm really excited to share a little bit of insights that can hopefully be really helpful and give people a few takeaways also for that they can use themselves to think a little bit more about community building and think about this for their own games and whatnot, right? So yeah, I'm gonna pull something up if you don't mind, but yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of a interesting one for you guys. Can everyone see the screen all right?
Yes, we can.
Cool. So I think, the game has changed quite a bit, obviously, with the introduction of blockchain technology for gaming. You've got now this element where players can own a lot more of their assets, co-create part of the game. And I also feel like the game has changed more to a shift to the value of community building, people coming together more. I think there's aspects of marketing getting more and more expensive, more and more mind share, more and more awareness just floating around everywhere, right? And so there's an aspect to leaning into the value of community building and building retention and the value in that. So that's our whole mission and ethos. And I'm just going to share a little bit about that, our kind of perspective on this. And then also at the very end, I'm going to give away a few things for people if they want to take home and use it for community building with their own projects. So our overall concept is something that we have. I refined this actually at ETH Denver called Go to Community and GTC. So you might think, well, what's GTM? What's the difference? So GTC is Go to Community Strategy, and it's this ethos of value creation versus value capture. And I think, like, the BGA knows also with with blockchain-based games, there's a lot of aspects to being able to create value, right? And so when you look at value capture with marketing side of things, it's definitely still needed. It's important around going out and hunting for the attention, getting the awareness, and you're kind of fishing for it. Versus with GTC, it's like this aspect of creating something really, really valuable. And I think we've all seen with some of the best games when it's a really, really strong, you know, almost borderline addicting, awesome, amazing game, it starts to really just draw people to that watering hole because it creates so much value. And then the players themselves start to, you know, mention things to their friends and start to like refer them and like come play this game with me. And there's collaborative aspects. Maybe they build together, things like this. And so this is like the ethos of community strategy that is very helpful, is creating these different pathways of engagement within the players, within each other, to just drive more value for both the players and for the game themselves, right? And so a long-term growth engine perspective on this, like where is this value of community and where does these retention components follow through? And I think an important part, you know, there's another concept by a great entrepreneur, Greg Eisenberg. He talks about the ACP funnel, which is building an audience, building a following, and then building a community, and then building a product. And I think you can take that same thing with gaming, right? Like building an audience around a certain industry or niche of gaming, like certain type of game, and then thinking a bit about like the community around that, and then listening to them a lot. And that feedback can really help create a better product, create a better game when you listen to the gamers, when you listen to the players. And if that is a better experience for them, they're going to talk to their friends about it, and that'll increase revenue, right? As well as with UGC and whatnot, like players themselves making games, they actually lower your marketing costs because they create the content for you. I think this is something that's, you know, really, really interesting to see. And then the final part is with ambassadors. You might have certain gamers, a split of your community of like a 99-1, right? Where you've got 90% are just kind of consumers more, 9% are a little bit more around, you know, participating and a little bit active in the communities and chats and contributing here and there. And then 1% of those like diehard, like they're on that, like on their hours each day, raving about it to different people. And when you find those people, it's what are the systems and strategies you can do to empower them and harness that energy, right? And, you know, look at taking that word of mouth more exponential to help with more long-term growth. So it's like strategies and things you can think about. Some good examples here with this is, for example, like with Roblox, the user-generated content in Roblox is wow. It's all over streaming and YouTube, and it's, you know, infinite free content and reach for Roblox. And I think that's one of the reasons why, like Roblox has, I think this was in the blockchain Alliance report as well, an average retention of over a year with their players and an average LTV of $300, which is 100x larger than like the average for mobile games. So they've done an incredible job at like leveraging these different components, right? Warframe, there's a lot of co-creation as there's with Roblox as well. And the more you have this co-creation component, players taking part in it, it builds a lot of trust. It helps with that retention. It helps drive revenue. Clash of Clans, they do a really great job at their clan-based social identities. They've got the different guilds. I think we see a lot of games with this aspect. And this helps create just more, you know, reason to kind of come back, that recognition. It's deep into our psychology, and that starts to become a really good glue for the community. And the baseline reason why also I talk a lot about this ethos, and I think it's important for gaming around retention, is just the increase revenue and components and the value with the game, obviously, that come from getting sticky users. Because I also think there is maybe a little bit of a double sword component with blockchain-based games where you can also take your data, you maybe can take your assets with you to another game, right? And so there's a component where you want to build more than just like the value product of even like the game itself, but the bonds and connections around it, right? And that's what, you know, different elements of, you know, we've got multiple frameworks for this, the 7 R's of retention, things that like rituals and whatnot that connect people more, right? So this is something to kind of to think a little bit about. And yeah, like I was just touching on here, the element of retention, this is what's big on user LTV. This increases all the player lifetime value. So I was just touching on this. There's a flywheel here that I think is really interesting in our approach, which is just really helpful for other projects to think about how do you approach community building. And this is one way to look at it. Initially, you have to start with some ideas around your game, around your project that might activate the community more, right? And for those, we've got like a couple of different really cool, and this is a little hint to some of the goodies at the end that you guys can take away and use. We've just built another one as well, some AI prompt frameworks where you can put in some information about your game. You can put in the different maybe types of personas of the different types of gamers that you might have, who your demographic are and whatnot. And then it comes up with a big grid, whether it's the gamification grid using like the mechanisms of gamification, there's 10 of them, on how you can come up with an idea, an initiative to engage your community, or whether it's the 7R retentions. These are just different things to get you started on what sort of campaign could I do to go beyond just playing the game, but even activate the community more. And then the big part about that, once you do that, is tracking that. So the engagement side. So using different tools to look at the elements of, are people coming back more? Are they chatting more? Are they participating more in it, right? And how do they feel about it? Like the relationship side of it. What's the sentiment analysis? Where are they coming in from? And then, you basically tweak those campaigns and reiterate that on the next round of that initiative. And the flywheel goes around. And as it goes around, some of the trust building that happens, you might find more of these 1%, these 9% that transition more to this 1%. And, we've got this tool around an ambassador management system. So how do you manage that 1% then? Because it's a huge amount of energy you have there. You want to harness it. So how do you kind of point them in the right direction, give them the right resources they need, let them kind of be that just outside of your team kind of layer, right? Because you may have like a really tight team, and letting some people in just to that one circle closer, it really gives them a lot of recognition, a lot of excitement, and they already have that energy. And then you can just kind of conduit it, right? To be more of a spokesperson, create content, maybe even hold little pop-up gaming events like in their basement, have people come over and game together. Like there's all sorts of fun stuff you could kind of do, right? But yeah, that's just a little bit of who we are, innovating a whole bunch on community, love want to get much more into like the gaming space. We do a lot of crazy fun stuff with Discord. So feel free, you can scan this little QR code here. It'll bring you to our GTC goodies group. There's a pinned post in there with some of these Google Word docs that you can download and try them out. But yeah, that's about it. Excited to hear and watch the rest of the demos on today. And at any point in time, feel free to reach out. And if you got any questions, if you got any ideas, you got any thoughts you want to pick my brain on, I'm happy to have a conversation about it. But yeah, thanks again for having me.
It's amazing, Dan. Thank you so much for sharing that. So basically, CoUnity is an agency, correct? Or is it not an agency?
Yeah, it's an interesting word. We've gone back and forth on the word ourselves. We are an agency. We do provide the service in helping with build Discord structures, building Telegram structures, helping, partner and do workshops for the community experiences. And then we've got these different tools for running the ambassador programs and helping you with that. But we also feel it's also an aspect of a bit of a partnership, because we often do things where we do team training. So we'll find community members and train them into moderators and then hand them back to you as like a kind of partner training model. But yeah, I don't know, that helps.
That's amazing, because I've never heard an agency, focus more on their community. They usually just vet different types of KOLs that they have and, just send them back. But training them actually to cater to the community, that's actually something new. So I'm just curious.
Sure.
One last question for you, Dan. What is the most difficult project that you've handled, and how did you overcome those obstacles, if there are any?
Yeah, I would say it's interesting. I'd say the most difficult would probably be, we've been working with them for a long time, but we do a lot of work with Eigenlayer. And so it's not as much in the gaming space, but it's a highly technical, project. They're doing restaking in the blockchain space. And so there's an element of that education gap of helping community members even understand what's kind of going on. And so leveraging this component of finding people to kind of help the other person along and educate each other and nurture and bring the information at the right time and break things down, a lot of like leaning into people to create analogies to help explain the product and whatnot. That's a big community hurdle that's often difficult. It's just education when we work with more like technical protocols and projects and whatnot. luckily, I feel like that's not as much of a problem with a lot of games, because a lot of the time it's pretty easy to understand the game and just enjoy it, right? So you can just lean into that passion more and then look at how do you make that more exponential. But yeah, that's definitely, it's been a long challenge of consistently looking through different ways of bridging people across the gap of education with projects is sometimes difficult. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Dan, for sharing your expertise. And for you folks out there, if you're curious on how to level up your gaming communities, you can also always check out coununity.xyz. Be sure to sign up, and you'll get a free proposal. Will they have a free proposal, Dan, if they maybe like consult with you, like a 30-minute consultation with you folks over at CoUnity, or how does it work?
Yeah, I should specify, like, not necessarily like free proposal, but a free like audit. So we'll go in and take a look through things in the Discord. We'll give you some suggestions, and take it or leave it. Hope it's helpful for you. And we want to keep it to the blockchain gaming alliance members, right? Something that we can give to value to them. So just a free audit and giving you some suggestions with your Discord structure. I mean, a little bit of strategy, ideation, and then if you want to talk further on some of it, we're happy to go deeper from there. But yeah.
There you have it, folks. Free audit. Just go check out coununity.xyz. It's free to sign up. You can just always, hop on a call if you want to further the conversation. But with that being said, yeah, we're super excited, and I'm super happy. If I'm building the game, I think community first is one of the most important things that you should focus on, not so much on the product. Because if you focus on the product, but yet nobody uses them, then your product has been dead from day one. So that's basically it. The lifeblood of most of the projects or most of the products out there is the community, because if no one is using it, no matter if it's $1 million idea, and it's gonna be a hit and nobody's gonna use it. That's just it. But anyways, thank you so much, Dan, for sharing your expertise over at CoUnity. With that being said, we'll be more than happy to find some games for you. So for those people watching right now, all of our 40 viewers out there, be sure to check out coununity.xyz if you want to level up your gaming communities, and whatnot. If you're already up to take it to the next level, just check out coununity.xyz. So thank you again, Dan, and we're on to the next one. Next up, we have it's a gaming company. So folks, welcome FortBlockGames Incorporated. I think we've got more than 2 people. We have Tyler Foss here. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, so apologies for that. And we have, I think we have another one. Oh yes, Josh. Sorry, you weren't scribbled to the screen. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, BGA, thank you so much for having us. CoUnity, Dan, Julia, Tingz, you guys were amazing presenters. Thank you for telling us about your products. I've had the pleasure of meeting Dan and speaking with him on numerous occasions in person. So really appreciate everything that's being built over at CoUnity. And of course, the BGA for putting this on for us. Thank you guys so much. So my name's Tyler Foister. I am the CEO of FortBlockGames. I have with me one of my co-founders, Josh Baez. So I'm going to just start off telling you a little bit about FortBlockGames. I'm having some technical difficulties today, so Josh is with me. He's going to do a little presentation for us of our actual game demo and tell you a little bit about what we've been building so long. All right, guys. So I am Tyler Foister, the CEO of FortBlockGames. We started building around 2 years ago. We had a little bit more of humble beginnings building on the Roblox and Fortnite platforms. But then, very, very quickly, I would say within the first month or 2, we knew that we needed to kind of be in control of our own destiny. And then we pivoted and started building what we are working on now, which is our flagship title, Takeover. It's a new take on the first-person shooter genre. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and about my team, and then I'll pass it over to Josh to do our live demo. So again, my name's Tyler Foister. I'm our CEO. I'm kind of the brainchild of FortBlockGames as a whole. I'd say my biggest accomplishment is gathering my amazing founders around me. So I'm going to focus on kind of what their careers are and how amazing they are. So starting off with Josh, since we have him with us. Josh, our CEO, he's in charge of all of our media production. That's what he went to university 4, and he's in charge of our entire lore creation at FortBlockGames. So we have our FBG universe, and that's what Josh is primarily in charge of, along with other roles that he leads, because we're a small, studio and have to wear many hats. Our other founder, Dr. Brian Kennedy, he is in charge of a lot of our modeling and just kind of team development roles, coordination. But right now, he's heavily in charge of our modeling. So he's creating some models that right now that we actually haven't been able to release, that will be coming out with our new Steam, our new release title here very shortly. And then we have our fourth founder, Stu Westfall, who owns True Industries. They do a lot of our heavy back-end C++ work. And yeah. So I'm fumbling a little bit on my words right now, but just a quick introduction on myself, on our co-founders, and I'm going to pass it over to Josh to do our live demo and tell you a little bit about what we've been building with Takeover.
Thank you. Yeah, Takeover. I mean, this is a game that I've been wanting to play forever. This is, let me go ahead. How do I share my screen here? Let me see. Share screen. Entire screen, right? Oh, there we go. Got it. All right, so what I'll do first is I will boot up the game. So this is pre-alpha build. So first thing I'm going to show you guys is some of the basics of what you can do before you get in the game, and just prepare yourself for the game. So we allow gamers. So this is a first-person shooter game. We want every gamer to be able to, customize their loadouts as they see fit. Play the game how you want to play. We're not doing like a hero shooter where it's very class specific. So what we can do here is, if you want to go, let's say with the assault rifle, all the standard stuff that all the FPS fans love, different sights and things like that you can choose from and unlock as you progress. And then the great thing is too, this is where you can start looking at your NFT skins that you collect and earn along the way, or purchase however you get them. So for our first array of NFTs we'll have are, representative of each faction. Factions are a huge part of Takeover. It's something that you help level up, not only yourself in the game, but you're helping level up your faction in this game as well. So there's different skins you'll be able to choose from. I represent the Dollar Holler faction, represent Dollar Holler, baby, yo. But yeah, there's plenty of factions. There's 8 factions in total that players can choose from. And that's where we'll go back here and I'll show you faction base. So this is where in between matches, after matches, this is another place that you can go to after you made your affiliation. We'll go ahead and join the People's United Front faction base. So after I show you this, we'll go deeper into the gameplay. I actually have a pre-made clip for that just because we couldn't get a full lobby in for this live test. So before we get to that footage of the actual gameplay, this is the faction base where you will be able to look at all the global leaderboards, your faction leaderboards, who's doing the best, who's getting the most takeovers, who is getting the most kills, and who's collecting the most cores for your faction. So here we are loaded into one of the faction bases. This is where you would go to hang out with your fellow faction members. In the game, when you're fighting and you win, even when you lose, you're still earning cores, and you can use currency, different ways to come in here, and you can get exclusive weapons and things within your faction base in here, as well as do little tasks, little mini missions you can do as well inside the faction base to earn more and prepare for more battles. And then this is where I was talking about. You can also see the leaderboards on who's doing the best in your faction, who's contributing the most, and eventually you'll be able to do way more in this space as we continue to add more. There's going to be things you can do with your cores that you gather in the matches that you'll be able to level up not only yourself and earn new things, but you can also level up your faction for special event battles, which are huge. And so let me go ahead and just show you the gameplay footage that I have prepared. All right, so this shows when you first join the game, you'll be tasked with affiliating yourself with a faction. Again, choosing a faction is huge. Everything you do in this game, in team deathmatch, no matter what mode you're playing, you're helping level up your faction. And so on a team, we have a captain. Teams are made up of two types of players. You have the captain and you have the soldier. The captain is the guy you have to protect. If your captain dies, that's how you get taken over and you go to another team. Or if you know what your goal is to win the matches, to take over the other teams, is eliminate all the other captains. And so to win, you just want to go in there, start ripping and tearing, getting everybody you can. Soldiers are able to respawn without having to be taken over. So, you know, you guys are just going. The more teams you take over, your team starts growing. So as you can see, as we destroyed some other teams, you can see the team just keeps growing and growing and growing. And eventually you'll win. So what you can do is, if you do get taken over, we do provide an option, as you'll see in this next clip. Let's say you're playing, okay, so you load into a match, you know, you're the captain right here. It says, look at, we're Chikaos right now on the top left. We're in here. Now let's say you get taken over, your team gets taken over. What happens? You can stay on that team that took you over, or you have the option of redeeming yourself via team kill streaks, or collecting cores. All right, so this shows an example of us dying, right? So now we're on Dollar Holler. We were taken over. And you can see right here, our teammates are switched over as well. Our soldiers are now on the team that took us over. And so now we're like, hey, you know, we don't want to be on Dollar Holler anymore. So let's go ahead and rack up some kills, get some cores, and then what we can do is run back to the base that's taken us over. In this particular mode, you can run back to your base. In other modes, you don't have to physically grab the cores and bring them back. You can do it remotely. But in this mode, you'll bring back the cores. And now right here, see, we brought back enough. Now we're reactivating. Boom, faction override. So now this is going to load us back. Look, now we're back on our original team, Chikaos. We've earned our original team back. So now we can just go back in, start slaying, and try to have a huge comeback victory. Just start slaying everybody, get all up in there, eliminate all the other captains, and eventually we're going to take over and we're going to win. So now we can move on to the next clip. This explains more about the power cores. So this is going more into the power cores, are what players drop during a match, or you can find them in the map. It's essentially also our in-game currency as well. So you're using it to take into that faction base I was showing you earlier. This is what you would use to level up yourself and your faction base, to level up your faction and prepare for the bigger event battles. That's what these power cores are for. So you're always wanting to risk it for the biscuit, because the more cores you get, the more you can level yourself up and earn more things in the game and help your faction. But also, cores are used within the match itself to unlock team kill streaks. We're bringing in team kill streaks where you'll be able to provide different ways to offensively help your team or defensively. And so in this particular example, we are racking up kills and cores. What we're going to do is we're going to get a buff for our team. And right now, so yeah, you want to make sure you survive, because if you do get killed, you lose all that kill streak progress and cores that you made. So look at there, we cashed in, we got the buff. The buff came in, we used it. Now we have a speed boost, and that's given to all of our teams. So now, as you can see, we're running way faster. We're looking for the action. Boom, hop right into it. Didn't even see us coming, and then we take over right there. So that's just a quick little glimpse into the game. Essentially, take over. You want to take over all the teams, and that's how you're going to help your faction out. Take out all the enemy captains, grow your army, and bring those cores back to your faction base and level yourself up, earn more items, help your faction level up RTS, MMO style within the big battle. So a lot going on there, I know, but super exciting for FPS fans and fans that like to collect.
Josh, thank you so much. That was amazing, man. I'm just going to take off of that real quick and then talk a little bit about our blockchain and then about our FBG universe and those factions a little bit. So now, again, really going back into our lore and our factions. So we're really heavily building around this FBG universe. So again, you're going to be aligning to these factions, and there's going to be, there's a big kind of universe campaign that's going to be around that. So there's going to be leaders of each faction, whole story campaigns that are kind of aligned with that. So you're really going to be able to immerse yourself and, feel like you're a part of this FBG universe world. So that we're really looking to build something bigger than just the game, really a universe that players can live in and thrive around. So besides that, our game, the blockchain integrations, how Josh mentioned, are going to be all of our in-game purchasable items are going to be NFT based. So they're going to be player owned forever, and that's how our blockchain integration is going to be handled. So all of our skins, battle passes, etc., anything like that will be NFT based, player owned. So they can buy those, sell those at, current greater value, whatever it may be. And, really just have possessions of those forever. They'll be able to be used via our cross titles whenever we have our future titles coming out. So, really be able to be, fully immersed in that FBG universe as a whole. They'll be able to be used for different like staking items in your faction bases. So, we're really going to be having a creative and fun way with these NFTs, but have it, feel very familiar with the players that are currently used to these Web 2 games right now, like Fortnite, Call of Duty, and then just have it really be a seamless kind of transition process where they're not, seeing these as quote unquote NFTs, but just as, common gameplay items.
Awesome stuff, actually, Fortnite games, Tyler, and also where did Dan go? So thank you so much for sharing that. Just a quick question though, for those for our viewers watching out there, we're going out to 50 already. Where can they play the game? And is it possible to get free access? Because I think the name takeover makes sense, because you're gonna take over all of the factions, and it's actually a crazy concept. I like the game personally. So for me, and of course the people watching right now, how can they get access to the game? Is it exclusive only to members, or is it already out there where they can hop on in and play with the game?
Yeah, so right now we are in the very beginning processes of our closed alpha. So we're inviting anybody who's interested to come in and play to any of our alpha events. We've been holding them on the weekends for the most part right now, but just shoot us a direct message over to my Telegram, over to our Twitter. We'll have you sign an NDA, and then we'll send you a link to download and get you into our next alpha test.
I'll do that right now. There you heard it, folks. So if you guys want to check out and play Takeover by FortBlockGames, be sure to check out on X /FortBlockGames. Just check it out, send them a message, and if you want to play, I think they're gonna be giving out free access. You do need to sign an NDA, for you have no idea how many times like these private companies would share the game, and then just a few, maybe even just a few weeks later, the game is already out for sale for $30 if they want to play it. I'm not saying that it happens. I'm just saying that it has happened quite before through popular games, so it's just crazy. So be sure to check out Fort Block Games, and thank you so much, Joss and Tyler, for sharing the game. It's a super fun concept. I think I'm gonna play it, so I'm gonna send you a message if it's possible to play the game as well. But with that being said, thank you so much. We also got some exciting comments. So we have Chaz HT, who's super excited to play the game as well, and Mercy Crypto. We're taking over, so I think it makes sense. We're gonna take over, the game takeover. So super excited. So thank you, folks, for the wonderful comments on here. All right, next up we have, last but not the least, we have Rana Handa from GLYPH. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. So welcome to the Demo Day.
Thank you so much, guys, and very interesting to hear all these insights and exciting projects that are launching. I'll try to keep you engaged as possible and tell you about what we're building. So I'm a co-founder at GLYPH. My name is Rana. Bit about myself: I spent the last 25 years building and scaling ecosystems across media, sports, gaming, and Web3. I've led growth in partnerships and grown projects to millions of users. Me and my co-founders all come from a Web3 background, where we've built and scaled projects which have then been acquired. And now we've gotten together to solve one of the biggest mysteries, which has remained constant through all our collective journeys. And that is that the hardest problem in Web3 today isn't acquisition, it's low retention, high churn, and fragmented identity. So Web3 has incredible potential. We've built powerful chains, immersive games, passionate communities, but we've also seen the same story pan out over and over again. Projects launch with hype, they spike in users, then they fade away. Why? Because the basic gateway to Web3, which is your wallet, was never designed to understand user behavior. It's just a key pair. But as we're building more use cases on blockchain, which are now targeted towards the general public, this needs to evolve. Fragmentation needs to be solved, personas need to be built, and privacy needs to be paramount at the same time. And that's what we're fixing at GLYPH. To summarize, GLYPH is an identity protocol which lets users attest multiple wallets across chains to a single identity while being private. And this identity can be used by applications to understand their user behaviors better. So let's define the problem, right? Web3 gave us wallets, not identity. An address can prove it controls keys, but it can't privately prove things that apps actually need to know. Is this a real user? Is it human? Has a wallet completed certain amount of activity, made a qualifying purchase, or staked before? Can we let this user in, reward this user, price an offer without forcing them to dox their entire history? Today, users overshare to get access. Apps overspend, because they can't tell good users from bots and fake accounts. Every dApp rebuilds onboarding, repeats checks, and can't port trust from chains. Identity attempts either centralize data, leak privacy through public badges, or add KYC friction. And that breaks and kills this conversion. So the core problem is this: how do we let any app verify specific facts about a user, like completed quest X, or meets allow list criteria, or eligible for reward Y, without learning who the person is, where else they've been, or linking them across apps and wallets, and only when the user explicitly consents? So the constraints which are non-negotiable: privacy by default, no global profiles, no involuntary linkage, consent first access, users decide which claims or which wallets an app can read and revoke later. Minimal disclosure, apps get just the proofs that are requested, not the entire user's history. Cross-chain portability, it needs to work across EVM and non-EVM ecosystems. Verifiability at scale, proofs and attestations must be cryptographically sound and cheap. And developer simple, one SDK, clear primitives, and fast integration. This is what success looks like. Users hold a private portable identity, in this case, a unified ID that GLYPH is building. And this can attest their wallets without exposing their broader activity. They approve per app access to specific claims, selected wallets, and nothing more. Apps request only what they need: yes, no claims, scoped attributes, verify them instantly, and run targeted journeys without doxing users or leaking data. Ecosystems gain a standard privacy preserving way to move trust signals across projects, improving conversion and retention while reducing fraud. So Glip fix exactly this: private wallet attestations plus granular revocable consent. So apps can trust right facts and users keep control of what is seen. Let's define a solution. So Glyph's unified ID gives every player, user, or wallet a privacy-preserving, verifiable identity that connects activity across chain without exposing personal data. How does this work? Glyph privately attests wallets, like I said before, and lets users grant per app consent to read specific claims on selected wallets, and cryptographically verifiable without revealing identity or any other activity. So a user can prove things like, hey, I'm an active gamer, I completed 50 quests, I've staked for 3 months, without sharing any other additional details. Behind the scenes, we have a permissionless relayer network that helps these identities sync across ecosystems. Relayers are staked operators who earn fees for honest updates, and these are slashed if they act maliciously. Now, on top of this privacy layer runs the hero product, which we've built called Sita 9, our AI-powered growth analytics engine. Sita 9 is like having an AI chief growth officer or analytics officer embedded in your project. It converts on-chain data into user behavior and gives you actionable insights. Who's loyal, who's at risk of churn, who's high value, who to engage, and how to engage different segments differently. It's not guesswork, it's behavioral intelligence. Let's take an example. Imagine a player who was active in your game last month but hasn't logged in recently. Sita 9 detects that same wallet just completed a mission in another game on Arbitrum. This is your signal to re-engage them. Send them a reward, a reminder, or even an event invite. So Glyph provides the identity layer, Sita 9 provides the intelligence layer. Together they help projects target smarter, spend less, and retain more. We're already seeing double-digit growth in user retention from early pilots that we've done, case studies. Millions of dollars can be recouped, active capital across DeFi protocols, and most importantly, a substantial drop in wasted spend in bots and farmers. Let's look at the gaming use case over here. And the bigger picture here is that this is the most exciting space to be in. We're building towards a self-learning and private Web3 identity, one that's owned by the user, portable across chains, and monetizable by design. Think of it like a character sheet in an RPG, but for your digital life. Every game you play, every NFT you collect, and every DAO you contribute to, it adds to your reputation score. Your activity becomes your signal, your history becomes your story. The identity doesn't belong to the game or the platform, it belongs to you. And because it's verifiable but private, it can't be censored, sold, or confiscated. So now imagine onboarding into a new game. You connected your unified ID and instantly the game knows you're a builder, you prefer strategy over speed, and you've completed 20 quests in the other ecosystem. So your experience is personalized right from the get-go. Better quests, better rewards, better community fits. For the player, it feels like magic. And for the developer, it's data retention without privacy trade-offs. So it's not just analytics, it's identity with intelligence. Machines get signals, players get persona, and ecosystems get sustainability. What is the impact here? Together, Glyph and Sita 9 create the retention and monetization flywheel for Web3, which is trust built on privacy, intelligence built on behavior, and rewards built on retention. This means studios, games, dApps can finally build sustainably. Players are no longer just campaign statistics, but they become partners in the growth loop. Each action feeds the data engine, every reward feeds loyalty. So imagine if Steam, Epic Games, and Coinbase shared an identity graph, a unified layer where reputation was verifiable and every platform could recognize genuine users instantly. So that's the infrastructure Glyph is building, a foundation of trust and intelligence for the next decade of monetizable Web3 growth through increased retention and reduced churn. And we're starting where the signal is strongest: gaming, DeFi, and loyalty ecosystems, verticals that already understand LTV and repeat behavior. So early partners that we've partnered with are already seeing gains of 25 to 40%, much lower bot activity, because Glyph changes what gets measured and therefore what gets rewarded. So to summarize this, I would say at its core, Glyph turns fragmented wallets into real users and data into durable relationships. We help Web3 projects move from spending to sustaining, from transactions to trust, and from speculation to monetizable growth. I'm just going to quickly share my screen and show you an example of the dashboard that we have. So it'll be easy for you to understand how Sita 9 works. So this is how in-depth just wallet level data is. And so you can see TVL, active users, revenue, there's a health score, top business insight, what's working, what are areas of concern and hence opportunity, immediate reactions or actions that may be required, user lifecycle insights, business KPIs that can be predefined by projects. And then you get into actions. What are the actions that are taken? Swap, deposit, stake, unstake, retention and loyalty analytics. How do you make it sticky? See what retention is from day 7 to day 90. What are the top actions that were taken? And what are the key takeaways? And this just goes on. And it's so simple to use. I mean, all you need to do is sign on with an email ID, put in your project's contract addresses, and within 5 minutes, you start getting deep dive analytics. So very, very easy and conducive for growth teams. And this is the future of retention and churn.
Thank you so much, Rada. I actually, this is a very interesting, technical piece of product. And I also have a question regarding about Glyph. So question number one, how easy is it, to claim your unified ID? Is it free or are you charging folks, to claim their unified ID?
Great question. It's completely free. Simple sign on, almost like a social login where you sign up for a unified ID, attest the wallet as many as you want. The more wallets you attest, the more rewards you get. Completely free.
Yes, and also just a follow-up question: how is this different from any other ENS that's already out there? What's the complete USP of Glyph? Because I think this is very super cool idea. You're absolutely correct. Whenever you sign up for different wallets, they always treat you like a new user. They don't know that you're already active in the ecosystem. So, what makes Glyph unique compared to all the other ENS out there?
Great question. So first of all, we are platform agnostic. We're genuinely building for private identity. We're not building for a specific blockchain or for a particular specific protocol. And here, the entire idea is monetize and make users your partners in growth. We are not interested in storing any of your activity. It's all on-chain data. You control. So even if you have a unified ID, I still don't know who you are. Only you are in control of that, and you control through zero knowledge proofs what gets attested, what information gets shared. So it's a completely unique offering in today's market.
That's a really good answer. Final question, because I don't want to get too technical for the viewers out there. This is just one of the problems that I've encountered when dealing this, these technical projects as well. What if my unified ID, gets lost? What if I forget the password or my phone gets stolen or something like that? How easy would it be for me to recover that ID, or is it just gone completely? Let's say, for example, because this has been, based from my experience at least, people lose their stuff most of the time, especially with these types of products. So how easy would it be to recover that? Is it recoverable or is it already, gone forever?
So great question. Because you use the social login to create this ID, which could be an email address, then you could just query that email address and be able to recover it.
Okay, that's super simple, because a lot of them, especially with crypto, they sometimes complicate, and if you lose access to one of your accounts, then you won't be able to recover everything. But anyways,
Absolutely.
I think this is a very, very interesting project. It's something that I will put my sights on, put it on my radar list. I will be watching out for this project. It has a lot of potential personally, and I like it. So yeah, I'll be watching out for Glyph. Thank you, Rana. And we've already hit the 1 hour time frame. So I'll just put in a couple of links for your what do you call this project? Let me just put it on the comments
Glyph.
here.
Yeah.
For you folks watching out there, if you're interested, be sure to check out Glyph.network. They're also very new in the space, so it's actually a pretty cool piece of product. I'll be watching out myself personally, and yeah, I think that's it. So thank you again, folks, for being here today. Rana from
Yeah.
Glyph, and of course with the other projects as well. We have Tyler still here, Julia. I don't know if Josh is still here, and Dan as well. So thank you so much for being here today. I'm super stoked, super excited, happy for you folks to be part of the alliance. With that being said, I'll see you all next time. Thank you, folks, for watching in, and of course for our
Thank you.
50 viewers out there watching. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye, everyone. See you guys. Thank you.
See ya.